Which of these Chinese dishes is a type of dumpling? Char siu, dim sum, Peking duck. Jim Carrey played which of these characters on film first? Ace Ventura. What 3D puzzle was first? Which of these was not one of the Three Musketeers? Which of these is a tile matching video game? Which of these can be measured on the Beaufort scale? What word means a percentage charge for the loan of money? What is the oldest fixture in international? Which of these is not one of Homer and Marge Simpson's? Which of these was a song on the gorillas, humans? Which of these means very dry as a desert, avid, arid? What farm animal would make a cackle noise? Goat. Which Asian country's currency is dong? Which of these Hollywood stars was a woman? Lee. Which of these instruments is not from the string section? The word manufactured comes from the French what? What liquid is produced in the nectary of flower? Nectar, milk, syrup. Which of these is a famous junction in central London? 7 dials, 5 gauges, 6 clocks. What is the name of the assassin in Killing? Which UK girl group won the twin? Proverbially a cat has What is the middle name of Camilla Queen Consort? Rosemary, Basil. Which of these is type of French? Which of these actors is a man? Jesse Eisenberg, Robin Wright. Which of these astronauts was born first? Sanctimony is insincere. What US company makes? What is the logo of HMRC? Which enemy of Batman is nicknamed Sardine Breath? Take Back Your Mink is a song from which stage musical? Take Back Your Mink is a song from which stage musical? Cats, Guys and Dolls, Les Miserables. Jackie Paulson's book, Brood, is about keeping what birds? The phrase magnum opus comes from what ancient language? Mink belong to what family of animals? A ship on its beam end is about to do what? For what film did Mel Gibson win a Best Director Oscar? For what film did Mel Gibson win? What is the oldest football club in the world? What is the oldest football club in the world? Which Beatles hit was a cover of an Isley Brothers song? Who was born 5th in line to the throne in 19... General Grobozboistikov appears in which James Bond novel? General Grobozboistikov appears in which James Bond novel? From Russia with Love, Diamonds Forever, Thunderball. What type of agency is Storm? What type of agency is Storm? Model, sports, acting. Which cartoon duo is made up of a squirrel and a moose? In musical notation, what major scale has no sharps? Cognitive behavioral therapy is also known as a what? Cognitive behavioral therapy is also known as a what? Occupational therapy, physical therapy, talking therapy. Which writer was called the first American man of letters? Which writer was... A kickstand is a device used for holding up what? In 1870, which French emperor declared war on Prussia? What musical term means not be omitted in performance? What is the most used web browser on the internet? What is the most used web browser on the internet? Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. The hairy threads on mussel shells are called what? What was Miss Piggy's surname in The Muppet Show? What was Miss Piggy's... How is somebody feeling if they are rueful? Which Mary is credited with inventing the miniskirt? Which word describes both a body of water moving in definite direction and the flow of electricity? Which of these is not one of the three categories of shape? Sketches above, beautiful, members of which band featured on SM, TV Live. Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor, Imagine World Peace, is a tribute to who? What insect is said to be on the wall in a style of documentary filmmaking? Wasp, fly, moth. What is the Latin phrase often used to signify the winner of a sporting event? What Italian word is used in music to mean lively or fast, allegro, adagio, andante?
This is the most challenging mahjong game, designed for mahjong lovers. Easy on the eyes. Keep the brain sharp. No annoying.
According to the proverb, where shouldn't you put all your eggs? In the eye of the beholder, in the bush, in one basket. Tonight, and America, the songs from which musical? Annie Get Your Gun, West Side Story, The Wizard of Oz. Which Major League Baseball team has an elephant mascot? Chicago White Sox, Oakland Athletics, Texas Rangers. In which religion are cows considered sacred? Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism. Which of the goons did Britt Ekland marry in 1964? What was Germany's currency before they adopted the euro? Mark. In tennis, how many weeks did the Wimbledon Championships last each year? What does a mycologist study? Which genre of music would you associate with the American singer Hank Williams? What is missing from the title of the film sequel, Home Alone 2, in New York? Central Park is a huge green space in which US city? What's the surname of Sir Dave, former performance manager of British Cycling? The New Model Army was formed during which war? Deux is the French word for which number? What's the name of the yellow bird in the Peanuts cartoon? Approximately what percentage of air is oxygen? Scarface was the nickname of which real-life gangster? The 13th century explorer Marco Polo was born in which Italian city? Who was the female star of the classic movie, Gone with the Wind?